friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are documenting day 24. You guys, we are full-on Christmas mode over here. We're documenting Christmas Eve, and I am scrap lifting my friend Crystal. If you aren't following Crystal on Instagram already, you guys are, wow, there's a Minerva, you can't be in my lap right now. If you aren't following Crystal already on Instagram, guys, you should fix that ASAP. Crystal's amazing. She's an amazing memory keeper, and she's super creative. And she did this thing in her album where she had a circle photo, but instead of it being a circle, it was a hexagon. So I attempted to recreate it, documenting Christmas cookies. Now, I normally do not bake Christmas cookies. Christmas cookies are not something that my family does. But because there was no like fruitcake this year, and I don't know how to bake fruitcake, I normally go to my aunts and I demand that they bake cake for me, and then I just steal some. But that didn't happen this year, and so I asked Joshua if he wanted to try something fun with me and try baking Christmas cookies. And spoiler alert, it was a disaster. We ended up with a few decent cookies out the mix, but it was super stressful. And it did not go according to plan, and I ended up having to throw out like 24 gingerbread cookies because they were inedible no matter how hard we tried. And that's how that went. And so that's a lot of what my journaling is about how we failed at baking. Minerva, you can't do that right now. How we failed at baking Christmas cookies. But this is not my idea. This is 100% Crystal's idea. And it took me forever to figure out how to size the photos to fit in the triangles. But the way it works is you have 2 photos and 2 triangles, and then 2 photos and 2 triangles. And when you open it, you have the big photo. So I have managed to wrangle that and make that happen. I'm just going to go ahead and punch holes in it now and just get that done. All right. So holes in this one. Uh-oh. That did not sound good. Okay, hopefully I didn't break my hole punch because I really like this one and I don't want to have to replace it. Okay, good. Holes are punched. So yeah, so the way it works is once it's in the album, it'll be like this, and then it'll open and you'll see the full-size picture of my cookies, which are not terribly pretty, but I'm very proud of them, and then more photos of Joshua and I baking. And then on the outsides, I'm going to use page protectors. I went from using like no page protectors ever to using a bunch of page protectors really quickly. So yeah, so I'm going to use page protectors for the rest of this layout. Because I have a few photos. My kitchen doesn't have the greatest lighting, so it was hard to get photos that could be sized up, which is why this design worked really well for the layout. But also it was just Joshua and I, so it's like we were taking turns taking pictures of each other, but they weren't the greatest, and so I'm just gonna I printed a few small pictures. Like this one I took with my front-facing camera while he was mixing. I had managed to kidnap the spatula. That was the brownie cookies, and I was like literally eating cookie dough off the spatula, and this is what living with me is like, you guys. That's how life rolls. So I have a few things out on my desk, and I have some decisions to make, and I haven't made any yet. These are some cards from Feed Your Craft, and I was wondering if I wanted to use that Merry Everything, Festive, a Happy Always, but I don't know if it works because of the colors. Because here I only have this gold on cream, and then I have this red and pink, and then I had pulled out, these are papers from both Merry Days and Snowflake from Crepe Paper. I had pulled this out to make my flip up, which will tie in the green. But the only way I can make the green work is when I embellish it, is if I include some of these stickers that have pink and green. So I'm not committing to this top card just yet. But my journaling, what I did do was I cut a strip of this same paper and I put it on the bottom of this just to tie everything together. And it is printed 6x8. 6x8 is bigger than it needed to be, but it didn't fit 4x6. And I'm just going to make a flip up like I normally do. So my plan was to attach a piece of this heart transparency to this green paper with some star brads, because I think it'd just be fun to have that extra layer of texture in this layout. The transparency isn't serving any real purpose besides like aesthetics. I just think it'd be pretty to have like an extra bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach this, and then I'm going to Okay, that's close to, it's not. It's close enough. So I'm just going to attach this using some star brads. And this will add some metallic and some sparkle to this side. And then I'm going to attach it to the top side of my journaling, just like this. I did this on day, honestly, I've done it so many times, I don't even remember what day I've done. I definitely did it on day 3. I know for sure I did it on day 3. I think I did it on day 7. But I end up with so many flips by the time this album is finished. It's just something I do. So perfect. So that is stuffed down. So when it goes in the pocket, it's going to go in the pocket like this, and then this will be on the outside and it'll flip it up. So I have to do some sort of embellishing down here. So I pulled out my crepe paper snowflake stickers, and I'm just going to figure out what I want to do to embellish. Hot cocoa and cookies, perfect. So this hot cocoa and cookies is like the perfect sentiment to go with the story I'm telling. So I think I'm just gonna put the hot chocolate and the cookies, and maybe put a star, one of these blue stars behind it. So I'm just gonna create a little cluster down here. So I'm gonna put this blue star behind it, and I have my hot chocolate, and then I'm gonna put this hot cocoa and cookies sentiment just like that. I think I'm gonna move this star a little bit. Perfect. And then I think I'm going to take some of these like sparkly rose gold stars, and just to create a trio of stars, because I always like the way things look in 3s. I don't think I like that star behind it so much. Do I want it? Okay, I think the star behind it didn't work so much, but I think having it right on top worked a lot better. So I'm just moving things around. Okay, I like that so much more. And then I think what I might do is just take this sparkly star and put it on top, and then trim it off, just trim off the overhang a little bit, just so it's not like random stickers down there, and there's nothing anchoring it to other places in the journaling. So same thing, I'm repeating a cluster of 3 stars. Uh-oh, that one did not go where it's supposed to go. So same thing, I'm just repeating a cluster of 3 stars at the top. There you go. And so that repeating element helps to tie the whole thing together. And now that is done, and that's going to go in the pocket. And then I get to embellish the front of this, which I got to think what I want to include. So I have these. Love. I kind of like this branch. All right, we're just gonna make this up as we go, you guys. There is no plan or rhyme or reason for what I'm doing right now. I'm literally making this up as we go. I like this branch. Oh, I have to put my number. No, my number could go there. I was like, I have to put my number somewhere, but the number can go there. I like that branch. And then, let's see. I don't know if any of these work. I like this house, so I can use this house. I'm just trying to figure out things that make sense with the story that I'm telling. Like it doesn't, oh, there's another hot chocolate. And I think I might just use another star. Is there a pink star? Perfect, there's a pink star. Great. All right, so I have this pink star, and then I have this house, and another mug of hot cocoa. And I kind of want to put this one up on foam, just so they're not all at the same level. So I think I'm going to put a little bit of foam behind this hot cocoa mug. Uh-oh. I didn't take the backing off. Okay, good. So I put this foam behind this hot cocoa mug. And then I think I'm going to move this branch down a tiny bit so it's actually touching the house. Which way do I want to put it in? Okay, I think I'm going to put it in coming in from that way. I think it makes more sense coming in from that way. Great. Okay, so I have my cluster, and this is nicely embellished, and it's nice and easy. That is done, which means now I can use this card, because this works. Because it has the green and the gold and the yellow, and now that ties it in, and then the pink on this side ties it in with the pink on this side, and the color story that I'm using is starting to make sense, rather than just looking like I put a bunch of things. And then I printed this photo in black and white, like I said, because it was super grainy. It was just a grainy picture, and I'm going to use some of these puffy rose gold stars just repeating elements to tie the whole spread together. I do this a lot with my 12 by 12 scrapbooking also, but just having repeat elements in a spread helps to tie. If you have like a multiple component, like if you have a multiple component page or what have you, having repeating elements helps tie the whole thing together so it all looks intentional and not like you just threw some things together and you forgot, which can sometimes happen. And I think what I might do is take this bow and put this bow right up top. There we go. So now there's something rose gold on everything in the pocket. Oh, I think that looks so pretty. Oh, that's so good. Okay, that's so pretty. All right, so that's the left side of this. So I have my transparent element. I have my little house with my hot chocolate and my branch. I've repeated the rose gold. This flips up and I have my journaling underneath and I have that hot cocoa and cookie sentiment. And then on this side, I'm going to add my number. I think I'm going to use one of the gold chipboard numbers, which I probably should have had out on my desk before I started filming. Oh, but I found it really fast, so that was good. And I do not mind mixing metallics. Like, I know for some people that might be like sacrilege, but if you see my Christmas tree has silver and rose gold and bronze. I like mixed metallics. So that 24 is going to go right there. And if I had another cardstock star, oh, this green one is the perfect way to tie that pink and that green together, because I want to have some green on this side also, since I put some pink on the other side. Okay, this is going perfectly. Like, this is all going, I can't say this is going according to plan because I had no plan, but it's going really well. And I have the gold stars here, so the gold's over there, so that's good. And then maybe I'll just put this puffy house. Yeah, this puffy house right down here, and add some little puffy stars. So there's that little yellow puffy star, and then there's this green puffy star. And now I've tied the green in on both sides. This all looks super good. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna embellish this at all. I think I might just leave this be so I'm not interrupting the photo of the cookies. So now we're gonna work on the right side. That's left, this is right. Okay, so I printed out the recipe for the thumbprint cookies, and unless I have another star that's small enough, I'm going to leave it the way it is. Or I could just put some of these trees. Okay, I'm gonna put these two small trees at the outside, down here. And then, do I wanna put, cookies and milk for Santa? That's kind of perfect for this story. Even though it wasn't for Santa, it was for us. But that's perfect because I'm talking about cookies. All right, where's my T-square? Because I don't think that's straight. Oh, that wasn't even close to straight. Wow. Okay. I'm going to just make sure that this goes down straight because it's going to bug me if it goes down crooked. And we'll keep going after that, but T-squares are essential right now. Okay, so cookies and milk for Santa, perfect. And then this is the cookie recipe. I literally went online and I Googled easy Christmas cookie recipes, and thumbprints came up, and I love thumbprints. I've had them before. I like anything with jam, so that kind of worked out perfectly. Okay, so here's where we are. We're on this side now. We're gonna keep moving. I have wow, a photo of me eating a thumbprint cookie right by the tree. So I went by the tree and I took a picture of me with a cookie that I had bitten into, just so we're continuing the story of the cookies. So I have this, and what am I going to put on it? I like this skeleton looking tree, so I'm just gonna put this tree here. Because it's a tree with the tree on tree on tree. Perfect. And then I have that Christmas Eve star, and it's red, which is great because there's red here. Oh, this was a card from Jasmine Jones, I want to say, from a few years ago. I pulled it out because it was pink, and the pink here and pink here and the pink here just kind of works perfectly for me. But I think what I might do is pop out this red star that says Christmas Eve, because it's actually Christmas Eve, and I can use it and just put it here on top of the tree. So I'm going to do that. Since I've also used stars everywhere else, I think this is the perfect place to use this Christmas Eve star. Okay, great. So that's gonna go in the pocket. And that is this side of the page protector. I don't think that's centered. Uh-oh. Is that centered? It's not. It's okay. I can't. If I pull it up, I'm gonna ruin the card. I'm gonna have to start all over. But that's this side done. Actually, maybe I'll put a tiny rose gold star on top of the tree. There you go. I've replaced the tree topper with that rose gold star, so I have that rose gold everywhere. And so that's how this would look without the middle flip, which I think is really, I honestly think that's really pretty together without the middle flip. So if I didn't, I gotta put a little bit more tape here. It doesn't seem to be sticking. So if I wasn't adding that like fun hexagon element, that's what the spread would look like. And I think it's really pretty. It's a really easy spread to put together if you're looking for like a page protector idea. I still have my flip with my longer journaling, and then I have the two small photos, one of Joshua and I, one of my cookie. And then I'm using up some filler cards, which never happens. And then if this was, then this goes in the middle, just like this. So all I have to do is figure out how to embellish down here. What would fit? Okay, I put this snowman that says cozy. You know, we didn't get any, we got barely any snow in New York City, which makes me really sad because I love documenting. I like this stay cozy banner. I love documenting the snow and like having snowy pictures, and everyone else has these beautiful pictures of like snow, and I'm just over here like casually minding my business with no snow at all. So that was great. Thanks, New York City, with your terrible weather. Okay, so I think I might put a tree. I'm, again, making this up as I go. So I took this cardstock sticker, and then I have this tree that I'm going to layer over it. And then, no, this has to move up a little bit. Otherwise, that Stay Cozy banner is going to completely cover it. Okay, so I have that, and then I'm going to put this Stay Cozy banner, and I'm going to put this on foam also, if I could find my foam, just to add a different bit of, to add some height. I like having things at, I mean, you've seen me scrap before. I like having things at different heights in my layouts. That's just a personal preference, and foam is a really easy way to add height. It's also a really easy way to add bulk. So if you're going for like the skinny album approach, then don't add foam everywhere. But I'm on volume 2 of my album, and I have 1 day left. So if there was if there was ever any time to add bulk to the album, this is it. Although if you see like a top shot of my album, I really don't need to be adding any bulk at all. It is plenty chunky as is. Okay, so I added that Stay Cozy with the tree and the branch behind it, and there's a little bit of empty space. So maybe I'll add, it's a little bit of, let me see how this looks on. So this feels really filled up, and this doesn't feel filled up at all. So what can I add to fill up that space? Let's see how these branches look. Nope, I don't like that. I might just leave it or move the whole thing. I wonder if I could just move the whole thing down. Because I like the way it looks. I just want it, oh, there we go. That's perfect. So all I did was move it down, and then it feels a lot better. Okay, so I moved it down, and then I just got to put another puffy sticker up there. So let's see what this, I have this one, this flower piece, because none of the other ones really work. Or I could just put this puffy tree. There is a puffy tree, so I'm going to put that tree, since I have a bunch of trees on this side, tree and tree. And then put some more puffies, tiny puffy stars. I really should just get tweezers for this, because these are so small that I honestly can't pick them up. And that's what they make tweezers for. Okay. So tiny puffy stars that don't get out of my, where is it? Oh no, I think nope, never mind. It's still in my hand. Okay. So I fixed my paper trimmer, and I have fixed my scissors, and I now have a Misty, and now I'm being thwarted by tiny puffy stars. There we go. Tiny puffy star achieved. Okay. So I think that's it for day 24. I'm going to put it in the album and then decide if I want to put anything on the middle of this, because if I do put anything on the middle, it has to be something that's going across the middle of both pictures that I can cut in half. So if I do go with anything, that's what I'm going to put. So I'm going to put it in the album and then I'll decide. So I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, so I'm back and we are in the book. I had to do a little bit of cosmetic surgery to get these to lay behind each other. So I ended up just covering this whole thing with a bit of copy paper because the back side of the other page was showing through because there's like gaps in the pockets. And then I have my day 24, and I'm honestly probably gonna have to take pages of this out to even photograph it because this is outrageous how thick this album has gotten. But here's day 24. So I have my flip with my journaling. I have that fun little bit of transparency. I think that's just an added bit of interest. I like that a lot. And then I have my journaling underneath. And then I have my hexagon flip with my cookies. And then on the other side, I have some more photos and then the recipe for the cookies I made. And then I have that cookies and milk for Santa and the Christmas Eve star. And I think it's all so pretty. It's so much, like, I like the fun, non-traditional color. I like having that pink mixed in with the red and the green. I'm probably going to end up putting it in an empty album just to photograph it because it's insane how thick this album has gotten, and I still have to fit one more day. Like, if you guys look at the top, like, it's insane what's going on. So I have actually ordered a replacement album for this one because not only did this go ahead and break, but the cats have attacked my album again, and there's a lot going on with this book. So I'm ordering a replacement again. So I had a Freudian slip about my 3 albums. Well, I'm going to have 3 albums to fix this one. But here's my journaling for day 24. So it says, "Dear Christmas cookies, you, the most venerable of Christmas traditions, are a disaster waiting to happen in our hands. From the tablespoon instead of teaspoon of vanilla extract to the 24 gingerbread cookies that were inedible and went straight into the trash after a game effort to get them down, to my apparent inability to go shopping according to a recipe. I'm looking at you, Ghirardelli brownie mix, with your misleading label. You were doomed to be a failure from the very start. While Joshua and I are not novices in the kitchen, both of us believe that recipes are suggestions rather than the Bible baking requires, and that adds up to a whole lot of frustration and ruined cookies and meltdowns on my part, and efforts to smooth it all over on his part. And how did you go from something I was so optimistically looking forward to something that was a real source of anxiety and disappointment? My type 3 nature means that everything has to be perfect, and with no cake and no ham and all the things I need to have it feel like Christmas Eve, I was hoping with this wild and relentless heart that cannot stop from hoping for bigger and better that this would be a new tradition for Joshua and I to add to our little family. Well, you went, and you were a semi-success, and there were carols and flour and sugar everywhere, and somehow we ended up with chewy chocolate cookies and the most delicious butter and strawberry jam thumbprint cookies you ever did taste. And Joshua and I ate our body weight in bits of butter and sugar and Christmas magic, and doesn't it all have a way of working itself out in the end? Thanks for the reminder that it doesn't always have to be perfect to be good, and that life is sweet and grace exists for moments just like this, moments where all seems to fall apart and then comes together in the end, tied with tinsel and shine and a touch of Christmas joy. So there is my journaling about, as I was reading this, I realized there's a huge typo in it. Every single day there ends up being a typo in my journaling. But there's my journaling about Christmas cookies. There's my spread about baking. I love how this came out. I love this hexagon page. I'm very glad that I struggled to make it happen because it is so much fun to have in the album. And that's all I have for day 24. So there is one story left, you guys. We are so close to the end. And again, thank heaven, because I don't think my album could have held on for any bit longer than it has already. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back with my final story, and then we will wrap up December, and then we will move on to 2020 and to all the wonderful creative things that are waiting for us. So till next time, till day 25, keep it crafty, friends, and have the best day.